I didn't think life could feel this good again. The breeze off the sea hit just right, warm but soft, and the lights from the street below danced on the waves like something out of a dream. I sat there on the balcony, shirt unbuttoned, chest sunburned, grinning like a fool. Marley sat beside me, cross-legged in her little floral dress, humming some Thai pop song I didn't recognize. She held a piece of mango in front of my lips and giggled. "Eat, darling," she said. Her voice was soft, like the way she touched my arm when she wanted something. Light, playful, always warm. I took the mango slice from her fingers and chewed, but I swear it wasn't the fruit that tasted sweet. It was her calling me that. Darling. No one had said that to me in years, not like they meant it. "You like mango here better?" she asked. "Way better," I said. "Everything's better here." She smiled and leaned her head on my shoulder. I looked down at her hand resting on my chest, right over the spot where I used to feel my loneliness the worst. "Married man now," she said, tapping my wedding band. "Handsome husband." "Lucky husband," I whispered. "Very lucky." She laughed again, light and happy, and said something in Thai that I didn't understand. I didn't ask her to translate. It felt good just hearing her speak. "You happy today?" she asked. "Happiest I've been in years," I said, and I meant it. That moment, with her pressed against me, the scent of jasmine in her hair, the way the city hummed behind us. It felt like the start of something new, something better. "You still want go crabby tomorrow?" she asked. "If you want to," I said. "I want if you want," she teased. "Then let's go," I said. "Let's never stop going." She leaned up and kissed my cheek. "Okay, my husband, you take care of me forever, yes?" I smiled and nodded. "Forever." I said it without even thinking. It just came out. I wanted her to hear it. I wanted to believe it. "You no think I too young for you?" she asked. "Not for a second," she grinned. "You say that because you old and alone before." "Maybe," I chuckled. "But not anymore." She played with my fingers, then kissed the ring again. "I tell Mama today she happy, say you good man." "That so?" "Mm-hmm. She say I lucky girl." I closed my eyes and breathed in the ocean. "I think we're both lucky." She got up and poured us 2 glasses of pineapple juice. No wine. She didn't like how I acted after a few drinks. Said I talked too much about America. "No need talk America. You here now," she'd say. "Talk only good thing." "To new beginnings," I said, raising my glass. "To husband and wife," she said, clinking hers against mine. She drank, then fed me another mango slice. Her fingers lingered on my lips. "You not kiss me yet today," she said, pretending to pout. I pulled her onto my lap. "Well, I better fix that." We kissed, slow, long. I forgot how it felt to be wanted like that. Her skin was warm against mine, her laugh soft in my ear. I'd lived a whole life back home, a mortgage, a marriage that crumbled, a kid who barely called. And yet here, with her I felt like a teenager again. "I love you, Marley," I whispered. "I love you too, Frankie," she said, though she always giggled after saying it, like love was a game we were learning to play. I didn't care. I believed her. I wanted to. "You still think I'm beautiful when I get old?" she asked. "I think you'll be beautiful forever," I said. She touched my chest again. "You so sweet. Thai men never talk like you. Maybe they don't know what they have." "Maybe you know too much," she said. "That's why I marry you." We sat in silence after that, just listening to the sound of the waves and the distant scooters zipping down Beach Road. My hand stayed in hers. I looked down at our fingers, and then at the gold band on my hand. I'd only worn it for a day, but it already felt like part of me. "I'm really married," I said. She nodded. "To me. And I don't want anyone else," I said. She turned her head and gave me a look I couldn't quite read. "Even when I get fat?" "I'll buy bigger clothes," I smiled. She laughed so loud I thought the neighbors might peek over. "You funny man. Frankie, my funny man." I held her close and watched the moon rise over the water. I remember thinking, maybe this time I got it right. Maybe love really does wait. I didn't know then what that smile was hiding. I didn't want to know. I didn't plan to fall in love again. Hell, I didn't even plan to leave Texas. After the divorce, I told myself I was done. I had my little house, my job at the auto parts warehouse, my microwave dinners. My son Dylan stopped visiting after he got married. I'd send him texts, "Happy birthday, proud of you," but mostly got thumbs up emojis in return. That winter, I sat on the couch with a blanket over my legs and found a video called "Why Foreign Men Retire in Thailand." Some guy walking through a market smiling at locals saying stuff like, "They treat you like a king here." I clicked the next one, then another and another. Next thing I knew, I was watching late into the night, listening to stories about warm weather, cheap rent, and women who actually wanted to be with you. One guy said, "You come here, you feel alive again." I hadn't felt alive in years. A month later, I landed in Bangkok. Hot air hit me like a wall. Everything smelled like spice and exhaust. I didn't know what I was doing, just that I needed to feel something. Pattaya was wild, full of lights and music and people who didn't care that I had gray in my beard or a bad back. On my second night there, I walked into a small bar near Beach Road. That's where I saw her, Mully. She was laughing with another girl, sipping something pink out of a tall glass. She saw me sit down, gave me this half smile, then came over and asked, "You want drink, handsome?" I probably blushed. "Only if you drink with me," I said. She laughed. "You funny American." "You've met a lot of us?" I asked. "Too many," she said, "but you look different." "That good or bad?" "Good," she smiled. "You kind man, not like Thai boys." I don't know what it was. Maybe the way she looked straight at me, like I mattered. We talked for an hour. She asked about my job, my family, why I came alone. I told her the truth. I was tired of being invisible. We met again the next day, and the day after that. I'd walk into that bar and she'd already have my drink waiting. "You come early today," she'd say. "I missed you," I'd joke. "Really?" she'd ask, tilting her head. "Really," I'd say. It wasn't long before I started paying her bar fee just to spend time with her outside. We went to temples, took boat rides. She held my hand like she meant it. One night, sitting by the beach, she said, "You feel like home." "You barely know me," I said. "But I feel safe," she whispered. I didn't know what to say. I just put my arm around her, and she leaned in. After that, she never let go. When I asked what she wanted for dinner, she'd say, "Up to husband." I laughed the first time. "We're not married. Yet," she grinned. I bought her a scooter. She didn't ask, but said hers was breaking down. "You don't have to," she said. "But you will, right?" she added, smiling. I did. I took care of it because it felt good to take care of someone again. One night, I handed her a small envelope with rent money. She said her place was late. "Thank you, Frankie," she said, kissing my cheek. "I feel lucky now." I said, "I'm the lucky one." And I meant it. She started calling me husband every time we were alone. "Husband want breakfast? Husband need massage?" It made me feel young again, needed, visible. I started planning longer stays, told my boss I was thinking about retiring early. "You serious?" he asked. "Dead serious," I said. "I found something worth staying for." I didn't tell him what or who. One afternoon I asked her, "Why me?" She looked at me like I was dumb. "Because you good. You don't shout. You listen." "That's it?" I smiled. "That not enough," she teased. I shook my head. "It's more than I ever got." She leaned in, touched my face. "You don't need fix me. Just love me." I told her I would. I thought I meant it. I thought she did too. When she rested her head on my chest that night, I remember thinking, maybe this is how healing happens. Not loud, just slow. When we passed a wedding shop, the next day she pointed at a dress. "One day," she said. "You serious?" I asked. "You not?" She smiled. I didn't answer right away, but I already knew. I was in deep, too deep, and I didn't care. The wedding was small, just me, her, 2 witnesses, and an official who didn't say much in English. Molly wore a white dress she picked out the day before. I wore khakis and a button-down that didn't quite fit right. She kept whispering, We married now, like it was a secret too good to be real. That night, lying beside her in the little apartment I'd rented, she turned to me and said, "Now we make home. Real home." I smiled and pulled her close. "Whatever you want, we'll build it together." The next morning, she brought me coffee and sat on the edge of the bed. "We should make everything legal," she said, "you and me." "Didn't we just do that?" I asked. "No, I mean government paper, property, name." "Why?" I said. She tilted her head. "If something happened, you protected. And I won't feel real." "You already feel real," I said. "More real," she whispered. I didn't know much about Thai law, but she did. She said a condo in her name would be smart. "Safer that way. You're not Thai. You don't understand rules here." "But I'm paying for it," I said. "Yes," she said softly, "but for us." That word, us, hit me like a drug. I wanted that more than anything. So we looked. She picked a building close to her favorite market. "This one good," she said, "quiet, safe and pretty." "You sure?" I asked. "You not trust me?" she asked, teasing. I laughed. "Of course I do." And I did. Or I wanted to. I transferred the money in 3 chunks so it wouldn't raise any red flags with my bank. "You so smart," she said, "not just handsome." She kissed me and called her mother. "Tell her we home now," she said. "Tell her I lucky." But soon after I started noticing little things. Her phone buzzed a lot at night. She'd glance at it and flip it face down. I asked once, "Who's texting this late?" "Just my cousin," she said. "He need help with something." "You talk to him a lot." "Family important," she said. "You don't talk to your son?" That shut me up. One night I got up for water and saw her standing on the balcony whispering in Thai. When she came back in, she smiled like nothing happened. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yes, baby," she said. "Why you look so serious?" "Just tired." I lied. Another time I asked if she wanted to invite her cousin over, since she mentioned him so often. "He shy," she said. "Not like foreigners." "He doesn't like Americans," I joked. "He just shy," she repeated. Then she kissed my cheek and changed the subject. A few days later, she asked for access to my Thai bank account. "In case emergency," she said. "What kind of emergency?" I asked. "What if you in hospital or lost? I need help you." I hesitated. "You not trust me?" she asked again, eyes wide. "No, I do. I your wife," she said, "not stranger." I handed her the card. She started going out more, saying she was visiting her aunt. "She's sick sometimes," she said. "Need me help." One night she didn't come back. I waited, watching the clock. Midnight, 2 a.m. No call, no message. I didn't sleep. I kept checking my phone every few minutes, heart pounding, telling myself it was fine. She probably stayed over. Maybe her aunt lived far. When she walked in at 7, she was still in the same clothes. "Where were you?" I asked. "With cousin," she said, yawning. "I sleep on floor. Aunt too tired." "You couldn't." "Call?" "Phone dead," she said. "Battery no good." I looked at her. "You sure that's all?" She stared back. "You think I lie?" "No, I your wife," she said. "Not girlfriend. You don't believe me. Say now." "I believe you," I said. But something felt off. A week later, she asked about sending money to her mother. "Only small," she said. "She need food, maybe medicine." "How much?" 10,000 baht? I nodded. "Okay." "You best husband," she said. "Most Thai men no help family, you so kind." I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. That night I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. I kept thinking about the balcony call, the overnight stay, the phone always face down. But I pushed it away. She was young. This was normal, right? She had her own world. I didn't want to be the jealous old man. I told myself I was lucky, that I didn't deserve someone like her, that I'd ruin it if I pushed too hard. She came in the next morning with breakfast. "You worry too much," she said, even though I hadn't said a word. "Smile, husband, you have me." I looked at her and nodded. "Yeah," I said, "I have you." But I didn't say what I was thinking. Do I really? Or do I just want to believe I do? I kissed her forehead and whispered, "Thank you." She kissed me back. "You trust me?" "I do," I said. But even as I said it, my gut twisted. I think part of me knew the answer. I just wasn't ready to hear it. I started noticing the silence first. Not the kind that fills a room when two people are comfortable, but the kind that hums behind fake smiles and tired kisses. She still said, "darling," sometimes, but it felt like it hung in the air a beat too long, like she had to remind herself. At night, she rolled to the edge of the bed, facing the wall. "You okay?" I asked once. "Just tired," she mumbled. I reached out to touch her back. She didn't move, didn't lean in. "Want me to rub your shoulders?" I offered. "No need," she said. "Sleep now." I lay there staring at the ceiling fan spinning in lazy circles. Something felt different. I just couldn't name it yet. The next morning she made coffee and sat across from me at the tiny kitchen table. "I think about business," she said, stirring her cup slowly. "What kind of business?" I asked. "Spa, nails, massage, hair, with friends." "You want to open a spa?" "Yes, I talk with Knock. She have friend, know how." "How much would that cost?" She smiled, eyes lighting up. "Not big. Maybe 300,000 baht, maybe little more." I did the math, around 10 grand. "Are you serious about this?" I asked. "Yes, husband, I don't want work bar forever. You don't want that too, right?" I hesitated. "No, of course not." "You help me?" she asked, voice soft. "I just want better life." Later that day, I walked into the living room and heard her on the phone. She was speaking fast in Thai, giggling. I stood just outside the doorframe. "Yes, I know," she said, laughing again. Then a pause. "No, he not know." Another giggle. I stepped in. She looked up, startled. "Who was that?" I asked. "Knock," she said quickly, locking her phone. "About spa stuff." "What did she say I don't know?" "Just joke. You not understand Thai joke." I nodded, but something twisted in my chest. I tried to laugh it off. "Well, if it's about me, maybe teach me the language so I can laugh too." She walked over, put her arms around me. "No worry, husband. You only man in my life." I brought up her family the next day. "We should visit your mom again." She looked down at her phone. "Too far." "We drove there before," I said. "She busy now and house not good," she embarrassed. "I'd still like to see her." She sighed. "Maybe later, when spa open, I show her proud life." "You don't want her to meet your husband?" "Again?" "I say maybe later," she said, more firm this time. I dropped it, but the word husband didn't feel so warm anymore. That night she didn't come to bed until after 1. I heard her unlocking the front door quietly. "Where were you?" I asked, sitting up. "Spa meeting," she said. "At this hour?" "My friend work late shift, only time free. You could have called." "Phone die," she said. "Why you always ask so many questions?" "Because I care," I said. She sighed, pulled off her sandals. "I tired, Frankie. Please no fight." "I'm not trying to fight." "Then, let me sleep," she said, walking to the bathroom. I sat there staring at the empty space in bed and whispered, "I just miss you." She didn't answer. The next morning, I transferred the money. I stood at the ATM, heart pounding, typing in numbers I'd saved for emergencies. I told myself this was an emergency. If she didn't feel secure, she'd leave. If I didn't help, I wasn't a real partner. When I told her, she looked up from her bowl of noodles and blinked. "You send already?" "Yeah, full amount." She got up, kissed my forehead. "You good husband." "Just want you happy," I said. "You trust me?" "Yeah," I said. "I do." But I didn't ask for receipts. Didn't ask to see the spa. Didn't ask who Knock's friend was. I just handed over everything and told myself it's what a husband does. The street was quieter than usual when I came home that day. I'd finished my errands earlier than expected and picked up her favorite pineapple cakes. I figured we'd watch a movie or maybe walk down to the beach. I even practiced a dumb Thai phrase I'd been working on, just to make her laugh. I walked through the gate and heard music playing from our balcony. I smiled. She was home. But when I stepped inside, the smile froze. There was a man on the balcony, young, maybe mid-20s, tank top, cigarette in hand, bottle of Leo on the floor beside him. He looked up, didn't flinch. "Who are you?" I asked. He sipped his beer and shrugged. Molly came out of the kitchen holding 2 glasses. "You back early," she said. "Who is this?" I asked again, louder. "Friend from school," she said, handing him a glass. "He just visit." "Visit who?" I snapped. "You?" She sighed. "Don't start, Frankie, not now. He's drinking on our balcony. So, he not stranger. I don't care who he is, you couldn't text me. Why you so angry? You always make big deal." "Because I live here too, Molly. Because you're my wife." She rolled her eyes. "I say he just visit. Why you shout?" I stared at the guy. He didn't move, just drank and stared at the street like none of this mattered. I looked back at her. "Is this what we are now?" "Frankie, please," she said, "no drama." That night I sat on the couch while she showered. I didn't say a word. She came out in her pajamas, scrolled through her phone. Didn't even ask if I was okay. I didn't sleep. The next morning she was gone. No note, no message. Just gone. I called her phone, straight to voicemail. I tried again and again, then texted. Nothing. I called her friends. Knock didn't answer. I drove to the spa, closed. I checked hospitals, filed a missing person report. The police took my name but didn't look too concerned. "Maybe she just need break," one of them said. "Young girl? Maybe go with friends." "She wouldn't leave like this," I said. "You sure?" he asked, and something about the way he looked at me made my stomach turn. By the second night I was pacing the apartment, rehearsing what I'd say if she walked in. "You scared me. You can't just vanish like that. This isn't okay." I checked. The time. Midnight. Then 2. Then 4. I sat in the chair by the window until the sun came up. On the 3rd morning, the front door creaked open. She walked in like she'd just gone for groceries. No apology, no fear. Just a quiet, tired look. "Where have you been?" I said. She dropped her bag. I needed space. "You disappeared for 2 days. You too much sometimes." "Too much? You always ask, always worry. It feel heavy." "I thought you were hurt." "I not hurt. I just tired." "Of what? Me?" She didn't answer. She walked past me to the bedroom. I followed. "Her? Molly, you can't treat me like this. I not fight today." "It's not a fight, I just—" "Please," she cut me off. "I want sleep." I stood there frozen. "You knew I was looking for you." "I know." "And that didn't matter. I back now." I sat on the edge of the bed and buried my face in my hands. "I thought you were dead," I said. She didn't respond. I looked at her. "You're my wife. You promised—" "I say I tired," she said, turning away. I reached out, touched her shoulder. "Don't shut me out like this." She didn't move, didn't turn back. Just pulled the blanket over her and closed her eyes. My throat tightened. I felt something crack inside me. "I love you," I whispered. Silence. "Did you hear me?" Still nothing. I lay down beside her and cried quietly. She didn't hold me. She didn't speak. I stared at the wall, listening to her breath, steady, calm, like nothing had happened. The next morning she acted normal, made toast, hummed a tune. I sat there, numb, watching her move around the kitchen like we hadn't just fallen apart. "Where did you go?" I asked again. "Friend house." "Who?" "You not know." "Tell me anyway." "Why? You don't trust me." "I just want the truth." "I come back, Frankie. That's enough." I wanted to scream. Instead, I nodded. "Okay." She placed a plate in front of me. "Eat, you look thin." I pushed the plate aside. "I'm not hungry." She shrugged. "Then I eat both." She smiled like nothing was wrong. I watched her laugh at her phone screen. The light in her eyes never dimmed. Mine had already gone out. I thought, maybe she's just young. Maybe I'm too much. Maybe I don't know how to love someone like her. I told myself, this will pass, she'll come back to me, she always does. But deep down, I knew something had already left. And this time it wasn't coming back. I asked her 3 times before she finally said yes. "Just you and me," I said. Like before. No phones, no friends, just quiet. She didn't answer right away. She scrolled through her phone like I wasn't even there. I waited, pretending not to see the smile she gave the screen. Maybe one night, she said. Somewhere not far. One night is enough, I said. Let's take the train to Hua Hin. You always said you liked the beach there. She shrugged. Okay, one night. I should have known then, the way she didn't ask why or look up or ask what to pack. But I needed something. One last chance to fix what we used to have, or at least to feel like I mattered again. On the train, I tried making small talk. Remember when we took the boat out and you screamed at the jellyfish? She said, eyes on her phone. I thought you were gonna jump overboard. I not like sea creature, she mumbled. Scary. You weren't scared. Of me back then, I said, smiling. Why I be scared of you, she said without looking up. I don't know, I guess maybe because I care too much. She said nothing, just kept typing. I leaned my head against the window and watched the trees blur past. I wanted to reach out and take the phone from her hand, just once, just to feel like she was here with me. Instead, I said, we used to talk a lot more. I still talk, she said, when I have something to say. We got to the hotel around 6. I booked a beachfront room, mid-range but clean, with a small balcony that faced the water. She looked around once, set her bag down, and immediately plugged in her phone. Maybe we walk after dinner, I asked. If not too tired, she said, or maybe just sleep early. I took a breath. I was thinking this trip might help us reset a little. I miss how we used to be. She didn't answer. I looked at her. Do you even want this anymore? What this? Us, I said. Me, our marriage. She stared at the TV remote. You good man, Frankie, kind, gentle. But, I asked. But I don't love you, she said. Just like that. No pause, no hesitation. Not like you love me. I felt my chest tighten. When did that change? Maybe never change, she said. Maybe I not love you like that from beginning. I swallowed. What about the wedding? It was fun, she said. You happy? I feel safe. I think maybe we grow into love. And did we? I try. But my heart not work like yours. I couldn't look at her. My fingers curled around the edge of the table. So all of this, the condo, the spa, the plans, I not lie about everything, she said quickly. I care for you. You care, I repeated, but not enough to stay faithful. She looked away. I not sleep with him, okay? There's someone else. Yes, she said quietly. He younger. Know me long time. The guy on the balcony, I asked. Different man, she said. So how long's it been going on? Few months, she said. I confuse, you not bad. But he make me feel young. I stared at the candle flickering on the table. My stomach twisted. What about the money? What money? The 10,000 I gave you for the spa. She bit her lip. I buy car. For him. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. You used my money to buy your boyfriend. A car? He not boyfriend, she said. Just someone help me when I young, I owe him. And me? I said. What do you owe me? She looked at me like I was a stranger. You needed someone, I needed help. We both get something. I stood up. My legs felt weak. So that's it? That's all I ever was? She didn't answer. I stepped outside to the balcony. The sea didn't look peaceful anymore, just dark, endless. I thought about jumping, not because I wanted to die, but because I didn't want to feel this anymore. When I came back in, she was on the bed, phone in hand. Feel you okay? She asked. No, I said, but I will be. She nodded once, then turned off the lamp. I lay beside her in silence, eyes wide open, heart hollow. I kept thinking about the way she said it. You needed someone. And I realized, maybe she was right. I did need someone. I just picked the wrong one. The sand was cool beneath my feet. I walked alone, the tide brushing against my ankles like it was trying to pull me back, but I kept moving. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't sit in that hotel room another second, with her pretending everything was fine. My wedding ring was in my pocket. I couldn't wear it anymore. Not after what she said, not after hearing her say it was just fun. that I needed someone, that she needed help. I rolled it between my fingers. It was heavier than I remembered. Or maybe that was just me. I passed couples walking hand in hand, a man selling grilled corn, a kid chasing a stray dog, and I kept thinking, how many men like me had walked this same stretch of beach wondering what they'd missed? I sat down on a bench and stared out at the sea. I tried to trace back where it started to go wrong. The jokes she stopped laughing, for the touches that faded, the way her phone became more important than my voice. I thought about the first time she said husband and how it lit me up inside. I thought it meant something, I thought I meant something, but I wasn't her husband, not really. I was a role, a provider, a placeholder. I wanted to believe her smiles, I needed to, because if I didn't, what did that say about me? You look like you just swallowed a hurricane, a voice said beside me. I turned. A man, maybe late 60s, weathered face, plastic bag of groceries hanging from his wrist. Bad night, he asked. Something like that. She finally told you the truth, I nodded. Yeah. Let me guess, he said, sitting down. You gave her everything. She said you were different. You believed her. Is it that obvious? I asked. Only because I've been there. He reached into his bag, pulled out a bottle of water, offered it. I shook my head. Name's Richard, he said. From Melbourne. Frank, Texas. How long you been here? Little over a year. Same story then. Bar girl. Big smile, small lies, big promises. I looked down. I thought she loved me. We all do. You're not the first. You won't be the last. That hit harder than I expected. Not because it was cruel, but because it was true. I wanted to argue, but I couldn't. I let it happen. I let myself fall. I ignored every warning. I wanted so badly for it to be real that I stopped asking if it made sense. Why do we do it? I asked. Hope, he said, and loneliness, and ego. We think maybe we get lucky. Maybe we're the exception. But we're not. No, he said. We're just men who wanted something beautiful to believe. And I looked out at the sea again. It looked peaceful now, still endless but softer. I gave her everything, I said. Money, time, a home. I let her put the condo in her name. I let her drain my account. That's not what hurt most, though, is it? No, I said quietly. It's that she never even pretended to love me near the end. She didn't try to lie. She just stopped. He nodded. That's when you know it's really over. How long did it take you to move on? I asked. Still working on it, he said, but I don't hate her. I hate myself a little. I nodded. Me too. I looked out the window. A couple walked by, maybe tourists, maybe just two people lucky enough to find each other without games. I didn't envy them. Not exactly. I just wondered what it must feel like to be chosen without strings. To be seen. And still kept, not used, not needed, just unloved. I wrote one last thing. I married a 21-year-old Thai bar girl when I was 54. I thought I was rescuing her. Truth is, I was trying to rescue myself. I closed the notebook and set it on the table. The wind outside picked up. The cafe bell rang as someone walked in, but I didn't turn to look. I just sat there, fingers still around the pen, heart quieter than it had been in months. I wasn't healed, not yet, but I was finally still, and that was a start.